we gotta talk about the Miami Heat. I think they got a shot. We also gotta talk about Kemba Walker's return to Charlotte, plus what I believe the Portland Trailblazers need. That's a look at what we gotta talk about today, but with that out of the way, yo! What is up, guys? It's me, Zachary. How y'all doing today? Hope you're having a fantastic day no matter what part of the world you might be watching this from. Alright, guys, the Miami Heat are still looking pretty freaking great. They had a good game versus the Phoenix Suns last night. Final score reading 124-108. Jimmy Butler in the first half drops 30 points. 30 points. Looked like he was going on for a 40, 50, 60 point night. But at the same time, it didn't even look like Jimmy Butler was trying to score 30 points in that first half. Was 9 of 10 from the field, hit all of his free throws. He was just taking what the offense was giving to him, hitting his shots, and wound up with 30 points. In the second half, really wasn't looking to score that much, only scored 4 points, finished the night with 34. And this Heat team is starting to remind me of the Milwaukee Bucks last year. If you guys remember, before the season started last year, the Milwaukee Bucks weren't projected to be the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. No one was high on Milwaukee. They were projected to win 45 games last year. Alright, this is because the previous year they had been a disappointment. Only ended up as the 7th seed and lost in the first round to the Boston Celtics, so of course, the very next year, they were only projected to win about the same 45 games that they had won the year prior. Ended up winning 60 and 22. That's what the Milwaukee Bucks won last year. And I think that this Miami Heat team could be this year's Milwaukee Bucks team in the Eastern Conference. They have the tools. They have what it takes. Sure, they only have 1 star player, but if you look at the rest of the roster, you got guys who can contribute every single night. You look at the names like Goran Dragic off the bench, Tyler Hero off the bench, Dion Waiters. When he returns and gets back to playing, he'll be coming off the bench, be another good piece off their bench. And then you look at other guys who aren't getting as much credit. Kendrick Nunn and Tyler Hero have been big talking points for the Miami Heat this year. Same with Jimmy Butler. But another guy who's been playing great is Bam Adebayo. Alright, this is the guy that we all knew that the Miami Heat were looking to give the keys to for their starting center spot for a while now. There was some issues, there was some drama regarding Hassan Whiteside the past couple of years, but we all knew that eventually Bam Adebayo would be the starting center for the Miami Heat. But personally, I didn't know that he could do everything that he's doing out there on the court right now. I didn't know Bam Adebayo was this good of a passer. The Miami Heat are able to run their offense through Bam Adebayo, and he's able to run the offense pretty well. He's averaging just under 5 assists per game this year, to go along with like 13 points and 10 rebounds. The guy is good. The guy can play. He's only going to keep getting better. And that's one thing I really like about this Miami Heat team too. They're still pretty young. They have a nice mix of veterans, but they still have some young talent, meaning that this isn't their peak year, of course. They're going to be even better next year. Now, I do not have the Miami Heat favored to win a championship. I'm not even sure they're coming out of the Eastern Conference. It's going to be a fight. But I'm just saying, I think they have as good of a shot as a bunch of other teams in the Eastern Conference. Because if you look at every other team in the Eastern Conference, you might have questions about the Miami Heat, but you got questions about the other teams too. For example, Philadelphia. Can they shoot? Will they be able to shoot? What about their bench? The Boston Celtics, what about their size? They're small up front. Will that hold up in the playoffs when they go up against the Sixers, the Bucks, and the other teams? And then the Bucks. Will Eric Bledsoe help in the playoffs, or will he return to being the player that he was last year in the playoffs that really didn't do anything? The Indiana Pacers. We haven't seen Victor Oladipo play in just about a year now. There's questions about every other team in the Eastern Conference. And as I look at the Miami Heat's matchup with every other team in the Eastern Conference, there isn't a team that I can say, ooh, yeah, that's kind of a bad matchup for Miami. I don't see how they get past them. I don't see that with the Miami Heat yet. Kemba Walker made his return to Charlotte last night after all the controversy of Charlotte not wanting to pay this guy top dollar despite refusing the option to trade him for valuable packages over the years and then ending up with Terry Rozier instead in a sign and trade. By the way, Rozier last night, his first time playing against the Boston Celtics, didn't go so well. 1 of 11 from the field for 3 points for Terry Rozier. Now, I'm not going to dog him too much because he has been playing decently so far for the Charlotte Hornets. All right, I'm not going to knock him too much, but he had a bad game last night, and the Charlotte Hornets as a whole got their butts whooped. 108 to 87. Kemba Walker not even doing that much damage in this game, only 14 points and 6 assists. But you know who was doing damage? Once again, Gordon Hayward. I just talked about the dude a couple of videos ago. And now every person who was calling for the Boston Celtics to trade Gordon Hayward at some point either last season or over this summer looks absolutely ridiculous. Looks absolutely ridiculous because the Boston Celtics 100% need Gordon Hayward. He has been balling out. 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists last night. He continues to do it all. The Boston Celtics had some questions about their rebounding coming into the season since they are so small, and Gordon Hayward has made a consistent effort to crash the boards. Right? He's doing everything that the Boston Celtics need him to do, and he's doing it very efficiently. I am so happy that Gordon Hayward is back, silencing all of the people who were doubting him after coming off that injury. Like, people forgot that he was an all-star before he was injured. He was all-star in the Western Conference too as a forward. Do you know how hard it is to make the all-star team in the Western Conference? And Gordon Hayward was an all-star, and then people act like he's not an all-star because he got injured. You're ridiculous. The San Antonio Spurs beating up on the OKC Thunder, 121 to 112 the final score. LaMarcus Aldridge playing like LaMarcus Aldridge. This is the guy that the Spurs need to see a lot more often if they're going to make serious noise in the West. 39 points and 19 of 23 field goals. DeJounte Murray, 17 points, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds on the night, and I don't think there's enough DeJounte Murray hype. The guy is one of the most gifted young point guards in the league. How many other point guards can rebound, can score the ball, can pass the ball, but are also top-notch defenders as well, and are only 23 years old? A lot of people aren't talking about DeJounte Murray. I feel like it's because he's on the San Antonio Spurs. If this guy was on any of the other teams that the media spotlight shines brighter on, he'd be one of the more hyped young players in the league. But not too many people talk about DeJounte Murray. I just feel like it was because he's on the San Antonio Spurs, but he has nothing but my respect. I love the way this kid plays. And for our last game of the night, the Los Angeles Clippers survive the Blazers. Kawhi Leonard returning to the court for 27 points and 13 rebounds, while Lou Williams was murdered down the stretch in this one. 26 points, 8 assists, and put the Blazers away with his clutch shooting. And speaking of the Blazers, they're going to be good, of course. They're going to make the playoffs. Right now, they're off to a pretty slow start, 3-5 on the year, but we all know that that's going to change without Yusuf Nurkic, without a couple of other players too. However, I still think that the Portland Trailblazers are going to need to make a move if they are going to want to compete with teams like the Lakers and the Clippers in the Western Conference. Here's the thing. The Blazers have Damian Lillard and they have CJ McCollum. Two great players. Yusuf Nurkic is going to return. He's going to be good for them too. But they still need something else. We all know they need that other piece. And even though this is a league of big twos now, we only need 2 stars on your team to win. And the Blazers do have 2 stars. Let's be real here. The Blazers still need something else. They need to make a trade for Kevin Love. If the Blazers do not make a trade for Kevin Love this year, then I'm not sure what they are doing, because this is the window, the opportunity of a lifetime if you are the Blazers right now. The league is up in the air for grabs, right? This is the year where anyone could win it. This is the year where if you're going to make a move and commit to truly committing around Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum like the Blazers did over the offseason when they signed both these guys as the contract extensions, then you got to go all in by trading for a guy like Kevin Love too. The guy is used to being a third option on teams. That's great. He can come in and work perfectly next to Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. I think he can build great chemistry with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, and he also gives you that extra scoring punch that the Blazers are going to need for nights when Damian Lillard and or CJ McCollum have an off night. And he mixes it up a bit too, because guarding Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum is kind of like guarding the same player. Both guys are looking to get their shot up, and they're going to get their shot up, and when they get their shot up, it's most likely going to go in because these are 2 of the most offensively talented players in the entire NBA. But they're going to have off nights, and they're going to need someone else, someone that they can rely on the offensive end to kind of help carry the load. Because right now they really don't have that, especially with Jusuf Nurkic out. They have a bunch of other nice role players, and especially like the young guy Anthony Simmons. He was incredible last night in that fourth quarter, but the Blazers need someone else. And I'd be very remiss if they missed the opportunity to trade for Kevin Love. That though is going to lead us to the player of the day, the portion of the video where you guys have the opportunity to vote for who you think was the best player in the league last night by clicking the little eye icon in the top right hand corner of the video. But here are your nominees for today. First up, you got LaMarcus Aldridge and his 39 points on 19 of 23 field goals. You got Jimmy Butler and his 34 points and 5 rebounds. Gordon Hayward and his 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. Or Kawhi Leonard and his 27 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 assists. Like I said, you guys can vote for the player of the day by clicking the little eye icon at the top right hand corner of the video. That being said, thank you so much for watching. You guys already know that you are the real MVPs, and if you want more videos like this, go ahead and smack that like button, as well as make sure that you are subscribed to the channel with post notifications turned on so you don't miss out on more videos like this every Monday through Friday. That is 5 days per week. I've said enough though, so until Monday, keep getting the buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!